I want to talk about the drama you got going on up at your place. We all watched your video today.
I'm so
We
excited.
were sitting around watching your latest video.
We watch them
We all
all.
watched.
Twigs. We watch them
them
all.
Yeah, man. So let me get this straight. Your grandma got this boyfriend off Plenty of Fish,
Correct.
imported him over
Boy
to Myrtle
toy.
Beach, and it seemed like in her little video that you nefariously recorded with your cell phone camera,
On
it
the
seemed
sly,
like
I
she
didn't
was.
realize that.
Yeah, it seemed like she was trying to play it off like, he just wanted to come to Myrtle Beach, and I knew him. That's all it was. But in reality, it seems like maybe she had some feelings for this guy, and now they've kind of.
Let me clear the slate up because I looked at the subreddit and they had the story all twisted.
Which
All right.
subreddit? It was the podcast show or
The PK.
the PKA subreddit. I didn't see that
Yeah.
thread. Okay.
All right. My grandma recently got into Plenty of Fish. She's a woman that leads a very isolated life, and she just does stuff to make herself entertained. Well, she finds Jim, which is the guy's name, and Jim doesn't have transportation. She don't know anything about him, but in 3 weeks she's in love. So she decides to move him down here, and
Oh, shit.
and so she asked me to rent a U-Haul and go get him, and he would pay me the money to, after all the stuff, which he did.
This is
I
great.
rented a U-Haul, and I paid the gas money and
all right.
everything, and I helped move him down.
Let me
here.
jump in. How far did you drive with this U-Haul? Like, and was it like a U-Haul you tow behind your truck?
Yes, it was an enclosed 12-footer.
All right, so you went and got one of those 12-foot U-Hauls, hooked it up to your truck, and then you drove to where?
Fayetteville, North Carolina.
How
Which is
far of a
about 2
drive is that?
hours.
So you drove 2 hours. You never met this
110
guy
miles.
before.
110 miles, something like that.
Can
So
I
you
ask
never
you-
met this guy before. You load his shit up, put him in your truck, and bring him back to your grandma's place.
Well, me and a guy named Doug did it. Yeah.
Has Jim ever
Who's
been to
Doug?
prison?
Don't know
Okay.
about that question, but Doug is a guy that I had help to help me move the stuff because Jim is like 70, so
Yeah.
he couldn't help me move dressers and stuff. So I took somebody with me.
Let me ask you this: did your grandma come on this trip with you?
Yes,
Okay, well, that
she
was
drove
nice.
her own car.
Okay, all right. So how
Did a
long?
You didn't have to
Bowling.
spend time. You didn't have to spend 2 hours just you and this guy in a truck. He rode with
Yeah.
her, I'm sure.
That's
Right?
my concern.
Correct.
So,
Correct.
so
Okay.
how did
That's not
she
bad.
fell in love with him online?
Mm-hmm.
Did they Skype or were they just sexting? Like, how does this go down?
Phone, FaceTime.
FaceTime. Okay. Okay.
So so he gets down here in less than a week. She's ready to throw him out. He buys this big thumpity stereo system. Well, he got it from Aaron's. He like bought, one of those like buy here, pay here places. You got this big
Yeah.
thumpity stereo systems, and they're like, this thing has like 3 18-inch subwoofers built into it. It's like, and he put it in a single wide trailer. It's like, it didn't make sense.
That's
like,
too much noise.
What kind of music? What kind of music does he play through this thumpity boombox
Country
he got
western.
from Aaron's?
Leonard
Country
Skinner.
western, like also like some Marty Robbins.
Like
Down in
Earl
the West.
Haggard and some Waylon Jennings.
Okay.
This is hilarious.
I'd have
Okay,
an
now this
aneurysm.
guy,
This one
But
was played-
regardless, the reason I'm telling you about the thumpity stereo system, there was a point about that, is because
All right.
when shit started rolling downhill, that was the first complaint that gets thrown up, that she doesn't like the stereo in her house.
okay.
So she was trying to throw the stereo out the door. This is a
Physically.
stereo that this man hasn't paid for fully yet. He's on a payment plan with it.
But,
So we had to
are
stop
they
him
living
from
in the
doing
same
that. And
house?
they were
Good
living in
Lord.
the same house at that point.
Oh, okay.
So so we had to call the law. Maybe, because
Call the law.
Grandma was in one of her moods. My grandma, her blood pressure goes straight through the roof, and she gets ready to fight. My grandma is
So the call just hit 4 hours. Click your video
just click-
thing, and it'll come back.
click
It's a
your
little
video.
slow, but it'll do it.
okay. Let's make sure that it was recording.
Yeah, we're good.
But so we
Taylor,
called the
click.
law, and the law comes out and goes like, "No, you can't throw him out. You got to go to the magistrate. You got to evict him. His mail comes here. He is now a tenant." Basically, what we were trying to tell her, we had to have the law tell her. So that kind of smoothed things out for about 4 days, and then she wants to throw his clothes out the door. So after that happens, he ends up, because she's talking pure T dog shit to him when he's there, because they have like these 2 recliners, and they would sit there, and she would just
chew him
bitch
out?
at him all day.
Like,
So
what
he
would you
goes
say?
and rents a Can you? Do
Okay.
I need to do something?
Taylor did, but it's better. And Kyle, can you go on and off again too? It's not working. for
Yeah.
you.
I don't know.
I should be fine, hopefully.
You are fine, Taylor.
Yeah, cool.
So, where was that?
They would talk. She would talk shit to him. They
yeah,
would
she would sit there and talk shit, like pure T shit. And it was it's so much. She was talking down to the man so much. I had to be like, dude, that's not cool. You can't sit there and talk bad about this man. Imagine if somebody stood over you all day and talked bad about you. And here's the kicker: she was charging the man $900 a month to stay in a single wide trailer.
No, she was not.
Wow.
Yeah.
So this was just a tenant that she found online.
So how much money? How many total months of rent did she extract from him? Like 1 month?
Two.
She got $1,800 cash off this guy.
Yeah.
And a stereo.
Well, the stereo he turned back in, but we'll get to that later. She actually probably got more than that because, like, I heard from him today that what would happen is he has a pension check from like some place he was like an employee of, and his pension check is like $2,400 a month. He would give her the entire check, both of the months he was there, and here's the kicker. He would rely on her to buy him stuff. Like, say he needed cigarettes or he wanted to go out to eat or something. He'd be like, she would have to pay for it because he pretty much gave her his whole check. Well, she started accusing him of never buying anything. And now you got to sit there and talk to my grandma. Be like, well, he gave you all his money.
Mm-hmm.
You're not technically buying the stuff for him. You're using his money to buy the stuff for him.
Mm-hmm.
Because like you can't realistically charge that amount of money for the house that you're giving him.
So after a couple months, she kicks you out, and she kicks him out. She kicks him out. So how does he end up at your place? That's what I want to know. Because I'm gonna be honest with you.
He eventually gets tired of it.
If I'd only known this,
he goes
dude
and rents a
2
place.
months, I can't see letting him come live with me. How is it that you're letting this guy live?
He eventually gets tired of it. He goes and rents a place, and he bounces a check. The check comes. He has like 4 checks come back on him. He has like the deposit check, which is like $1,000, the light check, the water check, and like a check he wrote at some gas station. So all 4 of those bounce. And then my mother starts feeling bad for him because like he didn't really know what to do here because he's like a 70-year-old man. You know, he's had a stroke. He doesn't have a car. He doesn't even have a license because of said stroke. So, and he's got about to be evicted from the place that he went to rent because he wrote bad checks to get out of there to get away from grandma. So mama goes, come live with us. Well, she moves him into here since we have 5 bedrooms. And till we can find him a place and get him somewhere so he can be stable again. Because he's pretty much been transplanted from where he was at to down here, and he knows nobody down here. So that works. So we get him in here, and then grandma goes ballistic about that. And then she starts out with this building stuff. Like there's a building on the property, and she wants to throw his stuff out of the building because we took all the stuff that he had left and we put it out there in the building to keep it in storage because there's no room for it in the house.
Yeah.
And real quick,
So-
this is over the course of 1 week.
This is over the course of about a week and a half.
My God, that's a quick, descent into a terrible situation.
So what's this guy's name again?
Jim Williams.
What kind of engineer? You said he was an engineer. What did he do?
HVAC. What he did was
So, like,
like
central air.
when big buildings would go online, like these box store buildings, he would design the systems that would go into the building, like the duct work and where the air conditioners would be placed and things of that nature.
Oh, okay. So like, kind of like a civil engineer, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know what his job title is. I never really asked him because every time I ask him about anything, he wants to cry about how he loved grandma and he don't know why he did her wrong. I mean, that's all I can get out of him. But
Man.
grandma doesn't want his stuff in her building, so she calls the law on us. And the law
On
comes
you.
back out. Well, not me personally, but my mother.
Uh-huh.
And so they go through that, and then mother busts out the landees and shows the law this, and he basically tells her that she can't keep calling him out here. There's something that they can arrest you for if you keep abusing, like, the police.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is off the top of my head.
Wasting
He
their
tells
time.
Report.
Yeah, false report. And
I kind of want to meet this guy now. Is there any chance we get him on video sometime?
Yeah.
It's midnight, dude.
Well, not
Oh yeah,
right
I'm not
now,
talking
but
about
I mean,
now. I know
you
it's too late now, but like
Wings,
first
he's
two
old man.
things.
He's asleep.
we group watch
Yeah,
all
two
your
things
videos.
though. Like I think I'd love to get him on video and get his perspective of the thing because I think your grandma like did him wrong. That's what it sounds like. But he needs a nickname though.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hopefully moves out. This is going to be his nickname.
Jim, who used to live
like
here. That's what we'll call him.
This sucks for you because you had nothing to do with the forming of any of this, and now it sounds like you're the guy who's kind of trying to take the high road.
I ended up getting a 70-year-old man dumped on me. I'm like, dude, I can't take care of myself.
This is like Always Sunny.
Yeah, it is. And
you got an old man.
It's like I just all of a sudden inherited one.
You just fell into an old man situation, as you do. You know, I don't know how many times I've been, just going about life, and it just worked out. So I had an old man living at my house.
All of a sudden, there's an old guy to try.
Just a friendly transient along for the ride.
All right. So
it escalated
great.
to the point where my mother just got tired of it. Like that was the straw that broke the camel's back. 'Cause Grandma does this about 3 times a year. She'll just become belligerent and want to fight with people, and she does it because she's bored. And she only has a 6th grade education, and she doesn't know how to convey her feelings properly. She can't go, I'm unhappy with the situation I'm in. Is there anything you can do to help? She will look for something spiteful to do and push that button. That's how she does it.
Is this one of the worst times she's done it, or is this just another part of the course?
I think it's just the one that broke the back. Mama packed up and left. So I'm like,
is your mom still pretty close, even when she does pack up and leave, like still...
Oh, she's in driving distance. She didn't like move to another state or something, but like she packed up and moved in with her boyfriend. So it's just me and Jim now. So it's like whatever.
I picturing you
I paid the lion's share of the bills regardless, so it's not like a huge money hit.
I was picturing you helping out some dude who was like 43, 44, and that seemed so fucking ridiculous to me. But then to imagine this old man, it's like, well, you really can't just be like, are you in a tough spot, you senior citizen? Fuck off! Like you have to be there to help.
I don't know. So I don't know how to phrase this, and I don't know how to say it nicely. So please just understand that this is a little not very delicate. I have a special skill that Dr. Chiz admires in that I can spot fetal alcohol syndrome a mile away.
He is.
Your grandmother is. Do you know that?
Oh, no. Oh. What is fetal alcohol syndrome? Can you explain that?
It's when her mom drank while she was pregnant. And there's a bunch of symptoms. Like the one that jumps out at me the most is the smooth philtrum. Small head, small eye openings, low nasal bridge, small nose.
Low nasal bridge is a big one.
You can tell all that by somebody drinking while the baby's being formed?
If you look up fetal alcohol syndrome, it'll show super specific points. I didn't notice that. What are you saying?
Look again.
I can only explain my family tree as redneck. That's the word I would describe them.
Yeah, I look at your it's a thing that jumps out at me. I'll just watch, I look at people, whatever, and I'll see some. I saw a girl on Reddit dancing too slutty on a boat, and you know how you see a million times all these this. For some reason, there's boat parties where all of a sudden everyone has a boat and this girl's dancing to music, and I'm like, yep, fine, fetal alcohol syndrome, fine, fetal alcohol syndrome.
So there's something you look for.
Oh yeah, I can spot it a mile away.
He's always looking for genetic impurities.
He's like the next generation Hitler.
Yeah, no.
Some of these are
position
just
in Trump's cabinet.
So yeah,
I don't want to get down that murky road.